I want to move on now. Welcome in former acting U.S. Attorney General Matthew Whitaker. On a Friday, Matt, you got a big weekend coming up. Good to see you. Football, right. Iowa taking on Iowa State. Senator Joni Ernst of Iowa, the great state of Iowa, joined us yesterday, Matt, and she had some comments for you. Take a listen. Iowa Senator Joni Ernst, so. we appreciate you being with us this morning. By the way, enjoy the football game this weekend. There is a big one happening in the great state of Iowa. It's great to see you, Senator.
Go Clones. Thank you.
I don't think Matt Whitaker will agree with you there, but thank you for that, Senator. Great. Matt Whitaker, the floor is yours.
Well, Joni and I are friends, and it is forged on the battlefield of politics because we were in primary in 2014 and she was the victor. But I think on Saturday, the Hawks are going to look pretty good. And, you know, we gotta, you love that picture, Rob.
Who is that guy right there? Who is this guy? Great head of hair.
He had some serious salad up there. Look at that. I mean, it was nice. Almost a mullet. But, you know, Joni's wrong. You know, her affinity for the Cyclones knows no bounds. But, you know, my beloved Hawkeyes have typically dominated the series. And, you know, when I was there, we won 5 straight at both home and away and part of a 20-game winning streak. So I expect it'll be a hard-fought game. You know, it'll be exciting to have President Trump there. I think a lot of people that I've heard from over the last week since we announced it are really think that's pretty cool that he's going to show up and cheer on. I think he's going to be cheering for the Hawks. We'll see. You know, he typically wears a red tie, so that could be a little confusing for the home folks and names.
You should tell him that. Wait a second. So this is called the X when you're catching a pass, right? You make an X and the ball just, you know, a loaf of bread just falls right in. Didn't you catch a pass that took your team to the Rose Bowl back in the day?
You know, my football career certainly
a fake field goal or something?
I played in the Rose Bowl. I had a catch in the Rose Bowl. I scored a touchdown actually in this game against Iowa State in 1991. So it's an important game. I grew up not too far actually from where Iowa State is in Ames, Iowa,
right.
And then moved, you know, 2 hours away almost to play in Iowa City for the Hawkeyes because Hayden Fry was a legendary Hall of Fame coach. And but you know, my best friend was the quarterback at the time for Iowa State from high school. So this rivalry, it means a lot to me. I've always enjoyed it, and I hope as football continues to professionalize at the college level and these conferences continue to, you know, rake in the money, that this game, the Iowa State game, which brings so much joy to the people of Iowa, is continued.
It's a great game. You play tight end, too. I researched that. So
good.
Yes.
I was looking for the footage.
I know. I was trying to find some footage. All right. So we have a couple minutes left. I want to move on to some serious news now. Former Trump aide Peter Navarro convicted of contempt of Congress for ignoring a congressional subpoena after only 4 hours of deliberation. Matt, what precedent does this set?
Yeah, well, this shows that nobody from the Trump administration or a Republican can get a fair trial in Washington, D.C. You know, Peter Navarro certainly had legitimate arguments that clearly weren't considered by the jury. You know, this is my concern for the current justice in America. If any conservative or any Republican goes to trial in Washington, D.C. or in New York City or in Los Angeles or any significantly blue city, that the jury pools are just going to be tough. Remember, Peter was convicted of 2 misdemeanors, which, you know, contempt of Congress. But, you know, my bigger concern is now that the Republicans have control of the House, and if they start holding people contempt, will the Department of Justice go after those same folks with the same vigor? And I don't think so. And that is the 2-tiered system of justice that we've talked about before.
Matt, we talked about this, and it seems like Donald Trump has I'm not going to say changed his tune, but he's now doing something deliberately to raise money for his co-defendants in all these cases, 18 in Georgia. Trump is planning $1 million family-style Mar-a-Lago dinner fundraiser to raise money for his co-defendants in these cases. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, well, you know, obviously President Trump has done a lot, and I know this for a fact. He's done a lot for many of the people. I mean, the January 6th committee ran roughshod over almost everybody involved in his campaign, subpoenaed everybody, made them sit down for interviews, incur significant legal fees. You know, and President Trump certainly helped and supported those efforts to defend, you know, the people from his campaign, and this is no different. I mean, obviously, and, you know, we've seen the press criticize, you know, the payments to other lawyers that are helping in other cases,
Right.
not just Donald Trump. So, this is a long line of how, he's willing to help his co-defendants and people that were loyal to him.
All right. Former acting U.S. Attorney General Matthew Whitaker, enjoy the game tomorrow. I will just say the last time that Donald Trump was at this game was 2015. He went on to win the nomination and ultimately win the presidency. We'll see if it can happen twice. Good to see you. We'll pick this up again last week. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.